sometimes little ideas planted in our mind, like if you can help someone, you know, I guess this is a version of how hypnotherapy works, or maybe one of the ways, and even one of the ways that NLP techniques can help is when someone takes on board an idea, even subconsciously, that they can get better, they can get well. And I think a good example of how much we influence people with a language, my favourite card trick, I did it at a family gathering several years ago. I got the cards all together and I went up to my 3 aunts, and there was like 20 people in the house, 15, 20 people in the house, and I just said to one of my aunts, I said, right, okay, pick a card, I've got the whole deck here, just shout out a card in front of everyone. And she said something like, you know, the Queen of Hearts or something, and I goes, right, okay, here we go. And I took the deck and I threw it at the window, and what a noise it made, and there was the Queen of Hearts stuck to the window. And everyone was like, jaws just dropped. And then what really blew them away is one of my sisters went over to take the card off the window, and it had gone right through the glass. It was on the other side. And they were absolutely shrieking and hooting. And I tell you, one of my aunts was just freaked right out, you know, totally, this is not natural, this is supernatural, this isn't right, you know, come from a Catholic background, this is scary stuff, and it was really almost bordering upsettingly scary. And then what I didn't tell them is what I'd done for the previous 20 minutes is I had been chatting with my 3 aunts. And if you had to take out if you had to video it and then take out every word that was said except the words I intended, then what you would hear is me saying Queen, Heart, Queen, Heart, Queen, Heart, Queen, about 15 times maybe. In other words, in the middle of a sentence, I might just mention something about, oh, you see that thing today on the TV about the Queen? You know, and then I just mention, oh, this person I know, I was giving them a visualisation, you know, helping them with a visualisation. They've got a condition of their heart. And then I would mention again something about, you know, the Queen of the world kind of thing, a joke or something. Then I'd mention heart again, and I would keep saying Queen and heart and Queen and heart. I don't know, maybe a dozen times, maybe less, maybe slightly more. But if you were to take every other word out and just leave those words, you would have heard Queen, Heart, Queen, Heart. Now the brain picks those up. The brain takes out all the different data, and the brain will hear that pattern, Queen, Heart, Queen, Heart, Queen, Heart. So when I said, ask my aunts, I took 3 of them in the hope that one of them would at least say it. Pick a card, just shout it out. Surely one of them, and the first one that shouted out was a Queen of Hearts, as if it was completely random. It wasn't random at all, obviously, given what I've just said. Now, what I'd done earlier in the night is I'd gone outside into the front garden and I'd taken a piece of very almost invisible tape, and I taped the card to the outside of the window so that it looked like it had gone right through the window to the other side. Now, in the context of healing, you know, helping people, it is possible sometimes to plant a subconscious idea in someone's mind to help them facilitate their own wellness. You know, you can help a person to believe in them. We do this all the time by convincing someone, you know, you can do it. You know, I believe in you. You're much better at this than you think you are. You know, you're a much better tennis player than you think you are. You're a much better, you know, this or that. You're a much better writer, a much better communicator, much nicer person. And these are if you say these enough times, they're implanted. But in terms of healing and getting better, you can also plant little ideas like that. You know, but we do it inadvertently. I think we pick up negatives quite a lot. But by the same token, we can do it positively. And I think hypnotherapists do that, and in some NLP techniques, you're giving people positive affirmations or positive assumptions that they take on board subconsciously, but absolutely can have a health-giving effect.